Okay, today we're going all in on desire as we take our chances with the following statement. There is more desire at the average meditation retreat than there is on a casino floor. And if that sounds crazy or upsets you in any way, take a moment to pause and count what you're holding. Think about it. At a casino, most of the people know why they're there and what the outcome will be. They get all dressed up fancy and go in knowing the odds are against them, but they don't care because they're just out for a night of fun. And of course, there are a few people at that same casino with an unhealthy relationship to gambling. They're desperate to change their lives. But most are there for a night of just entertainment. If they win, great. If they lose, well, that was to be expected, but it's okay because they were there to enjoy themselves. And at the meditation retreat, well, we dress up in silence, get intoxicated by incense, focused on mantras and mindfulness, and all of a sudden, everything becomes very meaningful. And it is meaningful. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. This is important stuff that we do. And there's wonderful connections to be made, and there's learning to be done and soul searching, but very few of us go in for the pure fun of it. That extended weekend away or that intensive 10 days is intended to be transformative, maybe even enlightening. It should result at least in something. You should get something out of that experience, no? So yes, there's desire at the retreat, but it's a more serious, noble form of desire compared to what we'd find at a casino, right? I mean, it's a well-meaning desire, a desire that's for the right reasons. Now, if you prefer your desire when it's dressed up like a monk in robes, you may be tricking yourself. Is wanting anything from our meditation practice really more noble? Or are we just spiritualizing the same old craving, sort of like calling a lottery ticket charity because somewhere along the line it funds a hospital? So today, we're going to unpack and expose these tricks of desire so that you can attend your next retreat just like you would a casino, really accepting your odds. And the key to this is to take less with you, purposely leaving a few things behind. And unlike the casino, it's not cash. It's things like mental habits, expectations, fantasies, the subtle baggage that doesn't get packed in a suitcase, but it shows up anyways. And if you do this, you may not just have a better retreat, you may actually see what's been driving you all along. So without further ado, 5 things you may want to unpack before your next meditation retreat. Number 1, your spiritual to-do list. Have you ever made a to-do list on the way to a retreat that promotes just being? Maybe you set an intention of some sort to finally dissolve that ego or heal trauma or find clarity. There is something measurable there, something you can look back at and say, yep, I got that done. Just like a night out at the casino, if you go in with the intention to win anything, you're bound to be disappointed. Desire doesn't just disappear because you sit still or recite mantra. It does, however, dissolve into nothing when you simply look at it without preference. I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times. Less is more when it comes to craving. The more expectations or intentions you bring with you, the more likely you're going to continually measure your experience. And while you measure, you end up missing it. Those to-do lists, they're for achievers. But meditation retreats are best experienced by just being present and accepting things exactly as they are. So the number 1 thing to leave behind, this idea that something must happen. Remember, meditation isn't a quest or an outcome. It's an observation. Okay, item number 2, leave your inner self-improvement coach behind. I think with the best possible intentions, that little voice in our head comes along to our retreat and is there to encourage us. Sit straighter, breathe better, focus harder. Come on, get serious. It says you have to develop here. This is your chance to become the real you. I think this is especially entertaining if you're attending one of those silent retreats because your inner coach will never shut up. But a retreat isn't a competition, not with yourself and not with others. It's not the Olympics of stillness. It's not a performance in any way. You don't need a coach when you're a spectator. You're there just to observe. So if you're heading to a retreat be it silent or otherwise, leave behind the voice of critique. Let things be messy. Let you be messy. Give the coach that time off and just be you. Number 3, leave the fantasy version of yourself at home. I wonder how many of us have this mental picture of ourselves as a peaceful monk or a wise guru, just radiating golden light, perfectly calm, this enlightened being that will float through life after we finish this transformative week of learning and spiritual completion. Now, spoiler, that ideal version of you is just a new costume for the same old craving. If you have ever bought a lottery ticket and thought to yourself that the millions of dollars would solve your problems, you've experienced this exact same fantasy concept. And fantasy works that way, doesn't it? It conveniently ignores reality and keeps you preoccupied with the most delicious desires. I like to call it the if only then idea. And this is a tricky one. If only I had more money, then I would not worry. Or if only I could understand my mind, then I would have no problems. If only then sneaks into meditation halls and casinos and workplaces and living rooms, basically everyday life. So watch for it and leave it behind. Leave behind the fantasy and bring the real you, the tired you, restless, doubting, hopeful, human. That's the part of you that could use the practice anyways. Okay, number 4, your timeline for transformation. You ever sort of wonder to yourself, will it happen on day 1 or day 5 of the retreat? Maybe by day 3, I should feel lighter. By the last sit, I should really be ready for a breakthrough. This isn't boot camp. It's not a race and there's no finish line. Evolution has no schedule, and awareness doesn't run on your watch, be it a sundial or a Rolex. Casinos, they don't have clocks for a reason. They want you lost in the craving, cut off from reality. But reality is, you have no idea if you will break through or leave empty-handed. No matter how much we plan or practice, life is just a spin of the wheel of fortune. Now, can you relax into that unknown? Can you accept the cards you are dealt? So leave behind the stopwatch. Show up without a clock and just be. And the 5th and final thing to leave at home, the belief that peace will arrive later. I think we've purposely left the biggest illusion for last. And it is an illusion, this idea that peace is somewhere else right now. It's wrong to think that after enough silence, enough hours, enough retreats, enough practice, you'll get there. Just ask yourself, if it's not available to me now, under the noise, in my everyday life, will it ever really be? I think retreats are often marketed as helping you find your true self. But who is the true self once you're removed from your true life? Are you the same person if you're surrounded by fellow meditators versus your prickly coworkers? Which part of you believes you need to be something else? It's that I'm incomplete part. That's the part that attends the retreat to fix itself. I'm sorry, but anyone that attends a retreat to find the truth will not. There's answers. Yes, there's many, many answers at a retreat, endlessly satisfying ones. But truth? The truth is always the same. The truth is, there are no questions. Questions are just desire, dressed up differently. So as you finish packing your bags, be sure to stop and consciously leave behind the chase and begin looking where you are now. If you're stuck at home doing laundry and packing, just notice desire. If you're at work late and you really want to get out of there and start that week off, notice desire. If you're just starting a meditation retreat or just finishing a meditation retreat, or if you find yourself at a blackjack table in a casino, notice desire. Take a moment right now to notice your mind process, which is desire. That's the whole point of meditation. It's the only point of meditation. And it's the point that any real good meditation retreat should teach you. You don't need to return year after year or take follow-up classes or buy any additional books or programs. The only truth one human can ever teach another is that there's nothing external to be learned. Desire is personal, deeply personal. It happens within each of us. So noticing it can only happen within us through self-directed exploration. Retreats can offer all kinds of techniques, but ultimately, seeing the truth is a personal act. It is your desire, so you must find it yourself. No one can do it for you. And of course, in a very ironic twist, there is nothing as powerful as the personal desire to see the truth of craving, which should be why you attended the retreat in the first place. So just remember, if you're at the casino to win money, you're yet to see the difference between cash and wealth. And if you're at the meditation retreat to gain anything, you're yet to realize that desire is what's holding you back. Where feeling wealthy frees you from financial concerns, meditation is freedom not from desire, but through seeing it for what it is. It's funny, retreats and casinos both sell hope in a way. You sit, and you wait, and you want. But maybe next time, don't go in to win anything. Just go and see what happens. I'm not saying don't go to a retreat. I'm just saying go like someone who knows the odds. You're not there to win. You're just there to see the chasing. I think that's the real jackpot. It's not inner peace. It's learning to more clearly see the part of you that just won't stop chasing it. And if you take less, you may see what's been there all along.